Hey guys, it's Joey Gaming and welcome back to another video here on the Joey Gaming channel. In today's video, we have a school story time. Yes, you heard me right. I have another school story time. And no, it's not about the student council. I am planning on doing more of those videos soon. They just take a lot of time and effort because I have to go back through my photos and videos and stuff just to see what happened and stuff. So those videos take a long time. Anyways, we're going to be talking about a story, right? I'm going to be telling you guys a story that happened back in middle school, right? Which I thought you guys would enjoy, right? This is me having the worst day in middle school. I actually made a story time like this already, back in 2020. However, I didn't really like the quality of that video. So I decided to make an updated version with just better audio, better gameplay and stuff, right? And the original video, half of the video was just an announcement, which wasn't okay. So let's just jump right into the story time. So the story time takes place back in middle school, and this was the last year of middle school, right? This took place back in 2018 between March and April. Well, not March and April. I meant February and March. Between that, around that time frame, it was the second semester. Anyways, this semester, my school did something called advisory. You see, every school in Idaho, they have this law where they have to have a class called advisory or something similar to it. And basically what it is, well, at the time, my school, right, called it tribe time, because we just called it tribe time. But in other schools, it was called advisory, and other places it was called whatever. They just have to have this class, right? Basically, what advisory is it's another class period, but it wasn't as long as another class period. It was like 15 minutes long. And basically how it works is that advisory would take place after one of your classes. For example, let's say that advisory is right after first hour, right? Advisory would be a 15-minute extension to your first hour. And then during that 15 minutes, it's like a study hall period, or you would work on homework, or the teacher would play a video, and that video would be anti-bullying, mental health, why drugs are bad, stuff like that, right? Basically, it's just a mini assembly every week or day. It could be growing up when this law was introduced in Idaho, in middle school and high school. Which advisory has to take place. So it's in high school and middle school. It was either a weekly thing or it was an everyday thing. But when I was in middle school, I believe it was only a weekly thing. I think it took place every Thursday. I think right. It either took place every Monday or every Thursday. I wasn't exactly sure, but it was a weekly thing. When I got into high school, it became more of a daily thing, which it was a 15-minute. It was a 15-minute, what's the word it was called? It was a 15-minute extension to your first hour. But when I was in middle school, after first hour, you would have to go to another class, right? And you would have a advisory teacher, but at the time it wasn't called advisory. It was called tribe time. My school named it tribe time, basically. And you would go in and, it is what it is. So anyways, I was midway through my second semester of school, right? And we had this tribe time thing or advisory. And basically, it was whatever. It was really easy. There wasn't really any work. You just watch videos and stuff, and you do assemblies. And what happened is that a few weeks prior to the main event of the story, we had an assembly, an actual assembly where everyone had to go down to the gym. And I think they extended the tribe time / advisory. I wasn't exactly sure. But we go down there, and we were supposed to sit in these dedicated areas, right? The school had this class sits there, Mrs. Something's name goes to that class, Mr. Something's class goes over here, and basically they make it so you have to sit with your class, right? My class did not get that memo, and I think this was true for a few other classes, so you had a bunch of these kids sitting wherever they want to sit. It was just pure chaos, right? Anyways, the assembly went on. I don't remember what the assembly was about, if I'm being completely honest, right? I just don't really remember that. It wasn't really important to the story time, so I don't remember that. We just had an assembly. It was probably either something like some motivational speech or whatever. I don't really quite remember. So anyways, that happens, right? Next week rolls around, like a week or two later, right? We're in tribe time again, and the teacher comes up and says, "All right, class, we have another assembly. Last week we had some kids that did not sit with the class. So if you do not sit with the rest of the class, I will give you lunch detention." And at the time, I said, okay, this doesn't really apply to me because I try to sit with the class, right? So I wasn't personally worried about it. So anyways, everyone gets up and we start heading down to the gym, right? To the middle school gym or whatever, right? And I didn't really exactly knew where we were supposed to sit, so my plan was to follow some random kids, right? And so anyways, I start following some kids from my class, assuming that they're going to sit in the correct spot, right? And we go down to the gym, and I look around, and I notice that half of the people that were in the class, right, were not there, right? And including my friend Jared, right? Jared is this awesome dude. I've talked about him on my channel before. He's pretty sick. I talked about him in my previous story time. He actually did an April Fool's joke on my YouTube channel before. He's a really cool kid. I noticed that he wasn't there, and I was like, oh shoot, did he sit with the wrong class? And I look around, and I noticed that, half of the class wasn't there, right? And I was kind of concerned at the time, but I decided not to worry on it because the teacher did say that, kids were not sitting in the correct area. So as I was assumed that, okay, yeah, I'm totally fine. There's nothing to be afraid of, right? So anyways, the assembly happens. Once again, I don't remember what the assembly was, really. And we go back to, and after the assembly, we were free to go to our second period, right? And anyways, after that, the school day is basically the same, right? It was basically normal. Nothing to really comment on, right? I go to school the next day. Well, this was Monday because the assembly, this story time takes place on Thursday. And yes, my school has 4-day school days. It's weird, right? Apparently you're allowed to do that in Idaho. I don't have a Monday through Friday schedule. I have a Monday through Thursday schedule. So my public school's a little different, but you can legally do that. So anyways, Monday comes around, right? And I go to class, and this day I wasn't really feeling well. I was actually quite sick, right? And I had a horrible stomach ache. I was like, I don't know, I was nauseous too. It was just not fun. I had no idea why I went to school that day anyways. So anyways, I was in class, right? And I was there, right? And then one of the student teacher aides, right, from like one of the office aides, well, yeah, I think it's an office aide. One of the office aides, right, one of the student office aides, whatever, walks down to my class, and what comes in, didn't really pay attention to the situation because I was either working on my work or not, or, focusing on being sick or whatever. Okay, that sounded weird, I'm not gonna lie. So anyways, I was there, right, and the teacher's aide was like, Joseph, last name? I'm like, yeah, over here. And I noticed that she had a blue note. And blue notes, either one of two things. Either it is that you have to go down to the office and speak with the principal, or it's lunch detention. Neither is good, right? And instantly I had like anxiety on what was going on. I was concerned, like, bro, what's happening? So anyways, the office aide comes in, hands me the blue note. It was a sticky note, right? It was blue, and it says lunch detention with my name on it, right? And I was like, dude, what happened? How did I get lunch detention, right? So what I did is I went to the teacher, right, and said, hey, can I go down to the office and talk to the office and see what the problem is with this? And the teacher was cool with it, and he's like, yeah, sure, go right ahead, right? So anyways, I walked down to the office, and I talked to the office lady, and like, hey, I got lunch detention, but I don't remember what I did to get this. Can you explain what it was? And the office aide was, a little bit, she was a little bit annoyed that she has to like call or figure out stuff. So she says that she'll call up the teacher that assigned the lunch detention, because on the lunch detention slip, it also has the teacher's name on it. So she calls up the teacher's name, right? And they talk, and they had a bit of a conversation. She puts the phone down and says, and she tells me, saying, "Oh, Joey, you got lunch detention because you did not sit with the class during tribe time." And I'm like, dude, really? I thought I was sitting with the right class. And I was like, okay, thank you so much. I didn't really argue, but inside I was pissed off. I'm like, dude, really? I got lunch detention because I thought that I was sitting in the right class? Well, that's unfortunate. And my plan was that next tribe time, right, I was going to go ahead and confront my teacher on it and just explain my side of the story and figure out, hey, where do I actually sit, you know? So anyways, I go out through the day, and I was sick, right? And now I had lunch detention for something I didn't really do, for something that I didn't know was wrong, you know? I didn't know I was sitting in the wrong place, right? I was just following a bunch of kids. I wasn't purposely trying not to sit with the class, you know? So anyways, lunch comes around, and I had to go to lunch detention, right? And it kind of sucked because on this day we had chicken noodle soup, and chicken noodle soup was awesome, right? And I had to miss out on that, and I don't know. I had to miss out on chicken noodle soup that day, and that's unfortunate because that was one of the better school lunches that we had. So anyways, we sit down, and how lunch detention works is that you have these paper bags, right? You know those bags that they give out for field trips, and they have like sandwiches and stuff. That's basically what I got. I got like a cold lunch, and you would have to go down to this teacher's class and sit down. You were not allowed to do anything. You can work on your homework, but you can't do anything else besides that. And you had to like eat your lunch. So I was eating, and I was already sick, right? And a kid comes out and says that he wants to go to the bathroom. Well, he didn't say I want to go to the bathroom. He just asks the teacher if he can go to the bathroom. And the teacher excused him, right? And I said, "Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to ask to use the bathroom, call my mom, right? So she can pick me up because I'm not feeling well." So anyways, that happens. And after the kid left, like 2 or 3 minutes later, I go ahead, raised my hand, and said, "Hey, Mrs. So-and-so, can I go ahead and use the bathroom too?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's fine, just come back." She asked me if I had a phone, and I told her no, of course, because that's how I'm going to call my mom, you know? I'm not going to give up my phone, you know? So anyways, that happens, and we head down to, anyways, that happens. I go outside, and I go around the corner, right? How the middle school worked is that there's this long hallway connecting all the classes together. And there's like a smaller hallway that goes down, and then it leads to a bigger hallway. And that bigger hallway has the main cafeteria, the gym, right? And a few other offices, right? So I was out there, and I was outside in the central area where the main office was, but I was hiding behind like a pillar, sort of, and there was a bathroom. Well, no, it wasn't that close to the middle, but you know what? There was a bathroom in the way. Yeah, okay. But I had some details coming to me still, guys, so just bear with me. So I was sitting outside, right? I didn't really need to use the bathroom. I just needed to just call my parents. So I pull up my phone, and I start, calling my mom, right? And meanwhile, when the phone was ringing, the kid that originally asked to go to the bathroom walked by me, gave me a weird look, and continued to go. And I was concerned that kid was going to snitch on me, right? So anyways, my mom picks up, tell her I wasn't feeling well, and she says that she'll come and pick me up. I go back into the lunch detention room, right, and pretended that nothing happened. And it was fine, really. Nothing really happened. The kid didn't snitch on me because I was worried that the kid was going to snitch on me because he gave me a weird look. But luckily, that did not happen. So that's what happened. I get picked up, and then I went to sleep because I was sick and I wasn't feeling well. And that was the worst day of middle school that I have ever had in my school career, of course, And I never actually confronted the teacher because I honestly forgot about it because it's one of those things where, yeah, it sucks in the moment, but afterwards, you just don't really care about it. So I never really went up to the teacher and asked her about it. So I don't know, just didn't really care about it. Also, we never really had any more assemblies after that, I believe. So it wasn't that big of a deal. So anyways, guys, that's the end of the story time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go ahead and check out the original story time on the right card if you want to check it out. This story time's a lot better, hopefully. Add more details, and there's a lot less filler. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned because I might be posting some more school story times very soon. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and see ya. Peace.